This is what I would have told to my younger self, where to start when it comes to healing. I would really start with paying attention to your free will. Understand the concept of free will, because you gotta set strong boundaries. That's one of the very important part of my healing journey, and I wish I knew that when I started with my healing journey, and so I can only hope that it helps you. What I mean by that is understanding the concept of your free will. What is free will for you? You need to understand what it is for you so that you can work with it, so that you know when to set boundaries. Not only in the physical reality, you gotta learn how to set boundaries energetically as well. You will be able to do that if you understand when and where your free will has been disrupted. If you do know how your free will has been disrupted, because it is a journey. While you are reaching what your goal, your end goal is, which is reaching your true nature, your true essence as close as you can with the fact of duality, because you need that so that you can have this, opposite effect, so that you know what it means to be free. You cannot be free if you don't know your true nature. You are free, you are already free, you're told that you are not. And it takes one realization to come back to that point, and probably a lot of attempts to stay there, to stay in that vibration. So start with understanding your free will, that this is my nature. That's how I would literally structure it. Like, if you're anything like me, and if you have been silenced as a child, you'd know how hard it is to share your voice. What I would like to explain is to understand you don't have to associate with every version of yourself. You don't need to. It's enough if you're aware of certain patterns of something, whatever it is for you. You can pay attention to the solution, to the actual healing, how to do that, and what works for you. You gotta try different things, of course, and I'd like to share what worked for me. It was pretty intense this year, and I think I reached mostly like last 3 months, a little bit longer than 3 months, which I took the time actually to do the work, that this is, it can be a lot if you have already a day structure with work, and which we believed it has to be this way, with 40 hours a week, and so you come back already with no energy for the actual thing you need to do. So yeah, I guess I zoned out again, which makes it harder every single time, but who cares? Yeah, I guess what I wanted to say before is you don't have to associate with every version of yourself. You just have to be aware of the patterns that they had, so that you can still use your free will to say, no, that's not my desired reality. That's no longer my belief system. That's based on if it's fine for you already, you'd know. But I'm talking to those who have been silenced, who have been, punished for using their voice, who have been punished for existing, actually. So yeah. Anyways, have a lot of compassion for yourself and know that you can absolutely do that. It might feel a little weird at first, especially if you think it with a logical mind. But remember the fact that you came as a whole, and so you have everything you need. You don't have to look for outside. Means you don't need anyone who can give you that validation. You have it all inside, and when you go inside, you'll see you're not alone the whole time. You can allow yourself to feel that divine love and what those synchronicities bring for you. It's not hard. The thing is, if you try to control it, you can feel like it's hard, but it's not hard to do that. It's going to be different for everyone. What I feel was very important is learning to understand what is free will for you and harness that power. That is actually your power. Your free will is your power. You can say yes to something as well as no to something if you don't like to. And I've been chasing all of my life this freedom. And I don't know. I mean, I have done a lot of internal work as well. As I mentioned before in this channel, I had to suffer a lot with my psyche. There is no medication that worked for me, and I also had this strong feeling of, strong need to stay connected with myself. That was so important, but I didn't know that I'm still not in alignment, because something I was still doing that wasn't representation of my true essence. That was, something I was running, or my inner child was still running from that old programming, from my family system, from, you all do this conscious work, and there is this unconscious factors that always kept running in the background. You actually need to be aware of that, so that you know where to work and what to do and all. Yeah, because I zone out so much. When you become aware of your free will, now you can set energetic boundaries, and of course in the physical reality. This is all about your action. Every single action has consequences, not as punishment, but every single action gives you an opportunity to become the highest version of yourself. And the longer, the more natural it becomes for you. And so longer you balance it to stay in that higher vibrational state, the more natural it becomes at the time for you. And that's the ultimate magic, to master this physical realm, right? So yeah, learn to set boundaries, whatever it is. Learn to set boundaries, energetic boundaries. Use your voice, I'd say wisely, because most of us forget the fact that our voice is here to serve specific purpose. It is not, wow, okay, thanks. Anyways, it is not to use for anything, like talk bad about anyone, which you can't anyway. I mean, you can if you try to believe that. Because a lot of us like to gossip or say bad things about others, which isn't my topic today, but I'm just trying to give an example so that you can understand. Because your brain would never be able to know that you're not talking to yourself. It takes everything just so that you understand how it works. Learn to set boundaries, which is, as I said, energetic or in the physical realm. You have to do both. You have to know, and which is not even a hard thing to do. It is like it's a practice. It's like every other thing in life. It's a practice. You start somewhere, and it feels a little bit uncomfortable, which is fine, because a change, a growth, doesn't come from a very comfortable place, and have that compassion for yourself, and don't set any timer for that, how long it needs to take for you. Everyone is on their own divine timing, and respect that, because you wanting to get somewhere, with your physical mind and logic from that perspective with certain timing, because your subconscious has this belief through anyone, especially it's our family, right? So if your subconscious is running that program and you're still running that program that says, okay, I need to get married in certain age, I need to, I don't know, find my partner in certain age, that is, I think, the most famous example, because most of us can relate with that. And I'm thinking that should be your truth. It doesn't matter how long you have a belief that's not serving you. If it's not your truth, you will never be able to find peace within that. And your peace is that goal. Oh wow, okay. Another synchronicity. And the ultimate goal is reaching that point and being closer, which is not, you're not like setting that ultimate 100%, zero, like there is this zero frequency, and you can tap into that, what you personally call negative or positive experience, to just experience from that neutral, from that zero frequency, 0 point, I don't know how to call it, 0 point frequency, I guess, if I'm not wrong. There is also this possibility, so that you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, next thing I would suggest is work with your nervous system. Watch when you're doing these changes, when you're doing this shadow work. Pay attention to your nervous system. Is it, are you feeling out of your breath? Are you feeling unsafe? Which is going to feel a lot. It is part of this process. It's going to be messy. Your internal creates your external. You cannot create your external reality without going inside, and it is dark inside. It is messy, but it is doable. It is absolutely doable for you, and you do it for yourself, and that's the only thing you came here to do till you're told what to do. And at the same time, which is the biggest contradiction, because how should anyone know what to do? Because they don't run your programming, and programming sounds like so weird, but just saying so that it is easier for our brain to break it down, which is not a wrong thing to say. That programming sounds a little bit negative to me. I'm still working on that. But I think it's still easier for our brain to understand what we're talking about. So yeah, pay attention to that, to your nervous system, how it reacts, and how you want it to react for you. Do you want to be in a state of survival, which is like also, which is also the programming, because this constant fight or flight state of your nervous system, which actually reflects every single thing in your life. Yeah, I know, unfair, but once you understand the whole thing, you will no longer play the victim. And that's when journaling, it plays a huge role in the whole process. It was like never for me. At least I thought, I don't know, I can't say at this stage of my life if I would have liked that, or my younger self would have liked that. But this thing is life transformational. Once you start doing that, once you have found your way, what works for you and how do you want to do that for yourself, the process is to make sure that everything in your program, and you're aware of that. I didn't do that for so many reasons. I have never been introduced to this process that you can actually journal. You can actually write down your emotions or your fantasies. I kind of had that instinct to, express my feelings, because I couldn't do that verbally. And because that wasn't possible, that would kill my mother's ego, and she couldn't live without her ego. So yeah, that wouldn't have worked for me. So yeah, anyways, I never had this, sense of safety that I can actually express my feeling in any way, shape, or form, which is through speaking or through writing. So I never allowed myself to do that. And as funny as it sounds, now I literally started this year. Now that I started this year, and anyways, so yeah. We have been talking about journaling. So, right. Cool. 1,000 years later. Anyways, so journaling. So I started this year, and this has been really useful. Like all of my years, I thought I know myself. Start journaling, you'll know who you truly are. Because it sounds so weird that, oh my god, you don't know it feels so unnatural to understand, especially because you have organs in your body that can think their own, and it takes a while to understand how your subconscious work, how your brain works, and how your heart works. And that's one of the organs you have that is not a polarity organ. And this is why your heart is supposed to be the higher guidance for you in this physical realm. This is like fact check within you, like how it feels. Does it feel light? Like you are a light being. You are not this dense, like this world. Yeah, you are a light being. And if you are in alignment, if you are representing your true essence, it is supposed to be light. It is going to be light. It is light. And the thing is, the more we adopt things that are not true representation of ourselves, the more dense it starts to get. And you cannot do anything, when you are a child and you've been told that is the truth, that sucks. But as soon as there is something you can do about it, which is your responsibility to do so. Because not knowing and running someone else's program, that is the one thing. But the moment you are aware of that, your body has all the capacity. The moment you start to choose to change that thing, to change that belief. There comes this polarity fact again. You're going to face a lot of resistance. You're going to face a lot of anxiety because of that change. Just because it's a change, the body reacts. And this is not something positive or negative. I always say, like, don't name it, don't label it, just face it and let it go. Give it the time, give it the love and compassion and the grace it takes for you to let it go without having to label it. Anyways, what I recently learned is, like, if you're already doing journaling, or if you're new in doing journaling, or if you're thinking of getting started, what I definitely would say is literally write down your feelings of doing something. Like the specific thing, I know it sounds exhausting. If you are anything like me, like no patience for certain things, or your brain has this reward system, it doesn't work without dopamine. It just makes you feel it has got no energy, and you're supposed to stay paralyzed because it's not getting what it is trying to get, which is dopamine. Like, I scroll some of the times, like even 4 hours. Crazy. So anyways, the one thing is shadow work. Do that however you like to do it. Like, write down what your current belief systems are, and what is no longer working for you. create that specific structure for you. You cannot create a new belief system. Like, not saying that you need that, but you have to be aware of that. And so when your program has something, you have to replace that with another. If it's making you stay in your comfort zone or not really allowing you to go out of your comfort zone. So that's the one thing about shadow work. And the other thing is writing down after doing certain activities that you are integrating in your daily life, which how you feel after doing that. Like, is it feeling light? Is it feeling dense? Is it feeling heavy? How does it feel for you? And if you write that down, you will see the amount of illusions we hold on to our life since our childhood. This is insane. This is one of the best tips I can give you, and I wish someone would have told me. Especially if you are anything like I used to be, you will know. Like, it sounds like exhausting, like writing down things and thinking, yeah, I already know myself. Like, it feels like that you actually know yourself by running the same program again and again, because that is the only certain thing. Because that makes it look certain, and it is certain. Like, after you repeated the program for, I don't know, 1,000 times, the same one, of course it is certain, and you know how it runs. And that's the only thing that keeps you staying that stage of life. And doesn't matter if it's like serving your highest and greatest good or not, you just stay because of the certainty, and the growth is on the other side of that. That's simply the understanding of the whole thing, right? So yeah, write down, even though if it feels like, yeah, I already know myself. No, you don't. Trust me on that, and see what comes out. See how much clarity comes out of it. Like, the amount of clarity I had through journaling, this is insane. Do that, and yeah. Next thing I'd love to talk about is allow yourself to process your emotions. That's also very important. I actually wanted to go somewhere else, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, so set intention and say it loud. It feels weird, but trust me on that. If you got a messed up subconscious because of the cosmic setup, you will automatically have a messed up thought system. So not everything you think is your thought. So it's very important to understand and be aware of that. And at first, with journaling, what worked really well for me to say certain intentions, say it loud, so that you are letting every cell of your body hear that and absorb that. Because, as I said, don't forget that some of your organs has their own brains. So yeah, as fun as it sounds, be aware of that. At the same time, it has so many positive effects on you. Like, once it is clear for your brain, that is your intention, that is what you're trying to do. You're not messing it up with other thoughts that you're probably receiving as a test. Also, you're an electric being, so you broadcast a lot of the energies and thoughts, which is like common, and especially if you're like sensitive energetically. So it sucks. Yeah, you will have, especially if you started to doing the work, if face most of your shadows, that will change your life anyways, because you will know yourself, right? And when you know yourself, you know your thoughts patterns. But at the same time, the thoughts you receive, and especially if you doing all this shadow work and you started to know yourself a lot more with clarity, and you see a lot of the thoughts you have are not yours. And that's when you have to set energetic boundaries. That's what I started with, right? And it is very important. You cannot do that without even knowing yourself. That's the whole process you're trying to understand. So yeah, you have to set strong boundaries. You have to call your it is your free will, and I'll use that free will to call my power back, because my power has been scattered all the way since my childhood, and I've been silenced. I've been told not to seek attention as a child. Anyways, so many of us might have definitely similar experiences, and you've been told, for example, you're too much and all, and definitely your program reacts based on that, because that is something you believed so many years of your life, and definitely every single cell of your body has learned to live with that. And when you're trying to change that and use your free will to, call all that power back, definitely it is going to create a lot of anxiousness, and it is going to bring a lot of other shadows that you might not ready to face, but face that anyway. Everything you ever going to face is yourself. There's nothing else to face. So every single work you start, there will come other subconscious programming or belief system that is tied to another one, and this can sometimes feel like very unsettling and very much out of control, but you don't have to overwhelm yourself in that process. Do it in your tempo, do it what works best for you, and in order to understand that you have to try different things and what timing, make sure you balance it. That processing of emotions and bringing that into your awareness and process that emotion and let your body go through that process again, which is you do it with your intention. You allow your body to feel that emotion that was never allowed to feel, because everyone has different stories. If your body has learned to suppress certain things because it should be a sin for our family, that's how some of the generational trauma creates, right? Become aware of that. That's when your voice is very important to use. Use that voice to actually set that intention, not for anything else, but to set that intention what you really want, and that has power. You will be amazed by watching how much power your voice already holds when you talk to your body, when you allow your body with intention and say, yeah, I know you're trying to keep me in that comfort zone, or you're trying to protect me, you're trying to save me, you're trying to protect me from being hurt again. But I have been there the whole time with you. I know how it feels like, and it is safe to feel. And that's the one thing with body. You'll see how your body reacts, and you'll be amazed how much your body holds another synchronicity. And some of the things I tried, for example, I naturally like to paint, and that was one of my dreams, childhood dreams, to be able to paint, but I wasn't, and because it wasn't serious enough, even as a child. So yeah. Anyways, on my healing journey, I processed a lot of trauma and those suppressed emotions with painting. I just started to paint, which for me it was so hard, because all of these years I created that field for me to paint, but I never really allowed myself. I didn't know it works this way, how your intention works, how powerful your intentions are. So it was this, holding back inside, but you cannot really explain that holding back and why you're holding back, because I wasn't really allowing myself to do that, because my inner child was associating that with not being worthy of expressing your creative nature. And this is how our subconscious works. You will learn so much of yourself through all of this I just told you by now. And yeah, that was inside. I wasn't allowing myself. I didn't know I have to verbally communicate to myself, and that has different powers. I just started painting, and before, yeah, that's what I actually wanted to say before. In all of these years, the least painting I allowed myself to do. I used to have always a motive because I was so anxious about expressing my own feelings. I didn't know all of these suppressed emotions. They can feel, if you are not aware of them, where they're coming from. They can feel very messy and very dark, and they can create so much of anxiety. It's not only affecting your psyche, but also your physical body. I have had headaches issues. I had like more than almost like 20 years in my life. Like I got it from a very young age, like since my childhood almost, and now it is like from one day to another it is gone. Definitely some of the days if I'm processing a very strong emotion that I'm bringing out of my body, definitely that's when I have headaches, and which is like natural because you're processing such a strong emotion and it is coming out of your body and it is going to let you know because it always existed inside. That's when I get headaches, and which is fine, because I know that's when I'm consciously doing the work. But all of these years, like almost every single day, I used to have headaches, and now it's gone. And I am so amazed by the idea that you can free yourself. It is so freeing. And every single day, I become more clear on why I am being called to do what I am being called to do. And I'm so happy about it that every single day it gives me a different sort of clarity that, yeah, that's the right thing, that's the right path. That's when you are in alignment. That's what makes you you. Anyways, I just simply started to paint again intentionally this time, and this last 3 months I did a couple of paintings, and it was also creating so much anxiety because I didn't know, oh my god, I just started like this without any motive, and I don't know, can I have this need for perfection as a Virgo, which comes naturally. It's like in every other thing in life, it has its positive and negative effect, if you wanna name it. I am not a fan of naming everything. Some of the things still will be here till I work on them, and which is okay, because life is not about being done processing all of the things and then start living. That's not how it works, unfortunately. I wish it would work like that. Not even that was, I guess my younger self wished that. Yeah, and I used to like, I just started painting, and I let that anxiousness rise within me and say, oh my god, what do you do? What if it just won't come out beautiful, and what if we don't know what to do next? And what if the color sucks? And what if I have not enough experience, and then I don't know how to do this, specific blending and and create that cloud, I don't know, whatever. And you can see how silly it sounds, right? And that's how our subconscious works. This is all, like, most of them are coming from your inner child. Like, she has this, the fears that are so little for you, for your adult self. And you hear them and say like, oh my god, like, are you serious, you're talking about it, right? For your inner child, it will make everything in your life till you face that fear and sit with her or him and say her, you see her, and you understand, you have been there with her, and it's okay, she's safe now. Like, it doesn't take a lot having that compassion for for your inner child, right? But we don't understand. If there is anything I wish for everyone to know as soon in life as they can, especially if you don't come from a family dynamics that was healthy. You can see like how I named these emotions I had when I started painting. Even though I was just thinking, whatever, like I just paint whatever I want to, and how it comes out, it doesn't matter, right? That was the simple intention. But the fear I was processing, and most of them I didn't know, like how silly it sounds, but it is not silly, because your inner child still holds those kind of lack, and those lack of not being seen, not being asked what she was feeling or what he was feeling, or what matters to her, what does she want. And all of these fears that she is going to bring up, whatever you do or whatever your interest is, that is going to be the key to process your emotions, I'm just giving this example so that you can work on your specific interest, and that would allow you to process your emotions, your suppressed emotions. And some of the times I would just cry. I just allow my subconscious to take me anywhere. It comes with your, with the colors, or I don't know, with the painting itself, with your hands, with your painting brush, the way you hold everything. We are electric beings. Nothing is a coincidence. So everything has its effect, and you just have to make sure you calm down your nervous system as much as that it allows naturally to feel all of these feelings you need to feel in order to be free. I don't care where I live. I have to have this sense of freedom. That is my ultimate goal, that I can do anything I want. I can feel anything I want. And this is not this is not like mountains of works you're doing and you're not seeing any results till you're done. Not like that. You will see instant results. You'll feel so much lighter. You will feel so much happier. You'll feel so much more joyful, and you'll create balance within the spiritual realm and physical realm. You will create balance within everything, right? Yeah, as I said, some of the days I just would like start painting and just cry, allow my subconscious to take more risks that it wants me to take, and I allow it to. I set this intention, I say it is safe to do so, and you can take me places you want me to take, and I would go visit my younger self as this version of myself, as this version of me, and I'd go with her, I'd paint, and I'd cry because she's processing, and for the first time of her life she feels safe to express how she feels. Take enough time on that. Your inner child, she is the representation of your true essence, and you really want to be patient when it comes to your inner child, and take all the time of this world you need to sit with her, to sit with him, to make sure that you create that safe place for them that they never had. And that changes everything. That's not some work you were done with one meditation or with journaling. That's a long time work. Have grace with yourself, have a lot of love and compassion for them, and let them know that you have been there with them. Everything they faced, you faced, so they're safe to show it to you. They're allowed to unpack that baggage of suffering. Anyways, next thing, like I'm exploring for a while now and it works for me, which is when you are doing shadow work, not as a victim, as an adult who knows what he or she wants and gets that by facing whatever it is you need to face. The next thing I do is whenever I am processing some of my strongest and long time suppressed emotions, I let it come out, like as a form of rage, like that, literally crying and allowing and feeling that, you know, the pressure in my throat that my younger selves weren't able to express, and that heaviness in my heart, and I allow myself to feel every bit of it. And once you started to living that life in alignment, you know, you start to see things from automatically from a higher perspective through the lens of the soul, like seeing the experience as the experience, having to name it or label it or anything like that, you know. And I let myself like that emotion, you know, calm down a little. It stays like it is different every time, and some of the time it takes like for hours that you're feeling down, and if you're feeling real down till it's like completely processed or alchemized. And when I can feel like whatever that emotion is, it is being processed at that moment, I like to listen music. I started that by any chance. That wasn't even intentional. That was like, for me, I just, you know, everything I'm telling you, that was like, for me, I tried for myself, some of them intentionally, some of them non-intentionally, and I found out that is like a very effective way to work with. Anyways, and the music I was talking about, so I listen to music. I start with one I feel at that moment I wanna listen to, or I wanna sing that matches the depth of my feeling. For me, it was not from the very first day, but at some point I just decided to sing, you know? Like, you have to explore your every single bit of it. I think it's absolutely worth it, because you find some of the pieces you never find otherwise. So I try absolutely new things out, and yeah. Anyways, it felt so weird with my logical mind to think, to sing, you know, and process. Anyways, using my voice is like something very hard. It has been always very hard for me, and for most of us it's the most natural thing for you to express with, but for me it was like always this I associated using my voice with anxiousness and darkness. Anyways, so first I thought it is like a coincidence, because you know what you're feeling and you choose yourself the song you're resonating with. And the moment I started to sing, over time I recognized that when I sing, and some of the lyrics that hits the most, when you allow yourself to sing in that very moment, you will see some of the lyrics are like you can sing pretty easy, and some of the lyrics you start to feel even more deep. The deeper you feel, the more chances that is something you need to pay attention to, and that might hold messages for you, because everything is connected, or that is something your guides are trying to tell you through lyrics. You can trust on it, especially if you're like tapped in and working with your intuition for a while now, you'll know. I can tell for everyone, but trust your algorithm and let the songs play. Not your specific playlist that you listen to, but go somewhere, like if you listen to Apple Music, search for that one song you want to listen at that very moment, right? Listen to that song and let your algorithm speak for you and work for you. And this works like perfect for me. And every time I play, the first time I didn't like go for my playlist because I wanted to listen to that one song, and that's all. Music itself, our body is designed to react on it. So yeah, trust your algorithm on that, and it works so perfect. And every time you listen to this one song you wanted to, pay attention and do journaling if you need to. At some point it just made this click in my mind, and it was like, wow, the song I played and the songs the algorithm played itself, every single one definitely resonated with that emotion I started with, and the lyrics carried messages that I needed to hear at that very moment. For me, it was so interesting exploring this method of processing emotions. I definitely can recommend this one, and go for it and let me know what is your experience and what you explored about yourself. Anyways, the last thing I want to talk about today is gratitude. I feel like a lot of the things of your own body you need to understand so that you can, harness this power of gratitude that actually has a lot of so it's just 13:13 on my clock. Yeah, your timer carries also messages. Anyways, gratitude. Understand that your brain isn't designed to feel gratitude naturally. That means the actual job of your brain is actually to keep you safe. It kind of leans toward worrying, fear, and survival mechanism in us. And the reason why it's not natural for your brain to feel gratitude because it's to keep you alive, to keep you protected. Remember, your brain is an independent organ and it can't think on its own. And make sure your action reflects that knowledge. I think it is very important to understand how some of the organs in your body actually work so that you can come to your highest potential by working with them, not against them, or not letting them work against you. Doesn't make sense, right? And why should you be grateful? It's simply because your brain, as I said, your brain isn't designed to bring the highest potential out of you, but to keep you alive, to make sure you're doing the same thing, you're doing things that it already knows. That means repeating a past pattern. It feels safe to the brain, so it will make sure it has every logic for you that everything else outside of that pattern is not safe. You have awareness and higher guidance, which is the heart in this avatar, which helps you through this way. Once you recognize the pattern, how your brain works, so that you can actually work with it by simply taking healthy risks and showing it is safe, and it is what I really want to do, and this is what I love to do. And this is when your actions come to play, and that's when most of us tend to be stagnant, because it is just something new, and something new doesn't mean it is something bad, even though if your brain trying to portray that. And this is why gratitude plays a huge role. Once you understand what it does actually, if you are searching for different healing methods that might work for you, and also love to explore what works for others you might resonate with, and you can try it for yourself to explore your own internal journey and the external, it doesn't matter. The one is connected with the another anyways. Why it makes so much sense, practicing gratitude, and it actually creates all the feel-good chemicals in your brain, which is like dopamine, serotonin, and endorphin and oxytocin. It's like when you do feel gratitude, as I said, the one thing is you have to be very intentional that you integrate gratitude in your daily life. What you have to do in that process is to make sure you feel it with your heart. And how you could integrate that, in your daily life, sometimes it is enough if you are being aware of that. That's when you recognize, are you feeling grateful because you have a heart that is good to do, but not feeling it because you're busy stressing out for the next thing you need to do. It wouldn't work like that, because actual feel-good chemicals that the brain releases when you actually feel, gratitude without things happening. Also, in our daily life, like a lot of good things, we already have that we no longer appreciate, or we don't do it every single day because our brain portrays it as something to take for granted. But at the same time, you have this avatar, and you can take good care of it, which is your responsibility. And I think feeling gratitude is one of the easiest way to release those good feel chemicals. It's like a cocktail of best chemicals you could have in your body that reduces your stress, and you're more joyful, you're more happy, and when you're happy you're automatically healthier. And take that extra moments to feel that, and you will see what works best for you. And I guess I didn't plan to make this video so long, but it happens every time. Either I zone out and it takes like longer, or we already know that how it works. It's just all at once or nothing. Anyways, you got this. I believe in you, and have a great day. Bye.